Like, I'm like, I'm not nice, I'm kind. They're like, what? Then they get even more confused and they're like, I thought nice and kind were the same thing. No, they're not. Hello you guys, welcome to Your Level Up Guru. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, like this video, comment, share. Let's hop right into the topic. And the topic is, I'm not nice, I have boundaries. I'm not nice. So a lot of times when I tell people I'm not nice, they're like, what? Like, I'm like, I'm not nice, I'm kind. They're like, what? Then they get even more confused and they're like, I thought nice and kind were the same thing. No, they're not. Nice is exterior, kind is interior. I know a lot of evil, nice people. Nice doesn't mean that somebody has a good heart and they have integrity. It's just a mask that they put on to manipulate people to get what they want. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're good at heart, which is why the nice coworker is sending emails and copying and blind copying your boss on them, okay? The nice friend who smiles and is in your face smiling secretly is DMing your boyfriend or husband. So you have to know the difference. So you have to know the difference between nice and kind, guys. Like, you know, I always tell people I'm not nice, I'm kind. Meaning I'm not the type of person that is smiling while I pump my gas, okay? I am not gonna walk in a room and introduce myself to everybody. I'm not gonna smile at strangers. I'm not going to be like, hi, hi. I'm not going to do that because that's not me. And if I put on that persona, I feel like I would be manipulating other people into believing that that's me, and it's not. But when you get to know me as a person, and people who didn't know me, who got to know me will tell you this, I do not go out of my way to destroy other people. So a lot of people, that's where a lot of people mess up in life, is they look at who's nice, but not at who's kind, okay? Nice is an exterior mask that people wear to appear very warm and welcoming so that you can't catch on to the manipulation and evil stuff they'll do on the low because they look nice. Kind is a heart placement. You have integrity, you have morals. So when I meet someone and they're like, hi, and they're all like that, I'm just looking at them and it's like, okay, you're a nice person, you're pleasant, but that doesn't mean you're a good person. I don't know you yet. You know, you haven't been put in a position to betray or cross me yet. So I really don't know who you are. I just know that you just have a pleasant exterior about you. I don't know your morals yet. So that's the difference between nice and kind, which is why I always tell people I'm not nice. I don't smile at strangers. I'm not that type of person, but I have a good heart. And everybody who knows me will tell you, she may not be all bubbly and in your face, but you can trust her with your life. Everybody will tell you that. So, being nice does nothing for you. It enables bad behavior. I always say that. Like, being nice is not going to get you very far because people tend to take advantage of a nice character. Like I said, when you think that somebody is going to reward you with things because you are nice or you have the nice girl act, being nice doesn't get anyone anywhere. I always tell people that being nice does nothing for you. It just enables people's bad behavior, and it enables people to be disrespectful. So you will notice that when you're like, hi, and you're all bubbly and nice and a pushover and a people pleaser, people start acting really crazy and unhinged. But when you come in with that, hey, like, this is me, these are my boundaries, don't cross them, don't disrespect me, don't get out of line. When you come in like that, you will notice that your life is a lot more pleasant because people know better. So what I'm saying is, being a nice girl or a nice guy, it's not going to really get you anywhere in life as far as respect goes. I feel like being nice enables bad behavior. That has just been my experience. When you are too warm and welcoming, people do not respect you. For me, especially when it's business related, I know how to comport myself in a respectful manner, but do not cross boundaries with me. Do not disrespect me. Don't start acting crazy with me, because I'm not going to allow it. So I think that when you are kind as opposed to being nice, you have an overall more pleasant life experience because people are not walking over you. Second is I have zero interest in being nice to people or smiling at strangers or being over accommodating. Now, I want to touch on Black women for a second. Black women in society are viewed as the mules, meaning you're viewed as a person that is supposed to pick up the work that other people don't feel like doing. People always automatically assume that you want to do extra or work harder or tolerate more because you are a Black woman, which is why I always say Black women cannot be nice. Black women have to be kind. Black women have to have boundaries. Black women have to have structure. Like I'm saying, you have to have zero interest in just over accommodating. You know, like Black women, like I remember there was a time I was working some event, this was years ago, and I was so tired, and I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. And another person that was working the event was like, oh, you're leaving? I'm like, yeah, I'm just so exhausted. I have to go home. And I noticed that he went up to me. There were other non-Black women in the building who were also working the event, but he came up to me. Why? Like I said, society sees Black women as mules. So they always automatically think you're interested in working harder than everybody else. So he came up to me. He's like, oh, you're leaving early? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, you're done with your setup and everything? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm heading out. He's like, oh, well, since you're already done, do you want to help me with my extra stuff? I looked at him and I said, why on earth would I do that? And he's like, oh, I'm like, you're assuming that I want to pick up extra work for you when my work is done. Like, why, in what world does that make sense? And I immediately clocked it, because as Black women, they automatically want to just throw extra stuff on you, and they just assume that you want to pick up other people's BS. And I'm not interested in doing that, because remember, I'm not nice, I'm kind. Meaning I'm not interested in performing to get you to like me, because if I was, I would say, yeah, sure, I will stay later and pick up your work, because that means that you're gonna like me more. I'm not interested in that. I'm done, I'm going home, it's over, bye, good night. And I left, okay? So you don't have to over accommodate anyone. The third thing, being nice and kind are two different things. I spoke about that earlier. Niceness is not a fruit of the spirit, kindness is. So I love when I say I'm not nice and Christians are like, oh my God, that's not godly. You're not nice. Well, God says, the Bible says. Kindness is a fruit of the spirit, not niceness. Honestly, you ever have that one friend that keeps calling you about a guy that is horrible to her, and she keeps calling you and she doesn't want to leave said man, and she expects you to just sit there? And the nice version of me would allow people or friends to emotionally dump on me. The kind version of me is like, babe, I've already given you my input on this guy. You're still with him. I don't really feel like it's necessary to talk about this anymore, because you're not going anywhere. So I don't see a point to you continuously calling me to complain and unload and place that stressful energy on me when you plan on staying with this man. If you're going to stay with him, we don't need to have these kind of conversations. Let's talk about something more uplifting. Now, to certain people, that sounds mean, right? But why am I going to let you unload your emotions on me for someone that you don't plan on leaving? This is what women do all the time, is women enable other people because they feel like women enable people by being nice because women care about being liked. That's what I've noticed about women. Women want to be liked. So the difference between women and men is women want to be liked. Men, masculine men, not feminine men. Men want to be respected. Men value respect. Women value being liked. I have a very healthy balance of my masculine and feminine energies. I'm not interested in being liked by anyone. I'm interested in being respected. Because being liked is like the same people who like you are the same people who will crucify you. Liking always change. Respect stays. So women are extremely interested in being liked, so that causes them to say yes to things they want to say no to, because they are afraid that if they say no, the person's not gonna like them. And women believe that being liked is like some type of trophy, but it's really not. That doesn't determine your success or how far you go. That just really determines how much someone can use you. And when you are overly nice and accommodating, and you're not nice and accommodating anymore, or you say no one time, people are going to automatically dislike you because they're so used to being able to use you. So I'm one of those people where I love to say no. And when I say no, I don't even give you a reason why I'm saying no. That's another form of being nice. Over explaining. I don't need to do that. If someone's like, hey, can you come to my event March 30th? No, I'm not available that day. That's it. I don't have to say no, I'm not available because I have to go to South Carolina. Like, I don't need to do all of that. I don't need to over explain myself to anyone, and neither do you. So no, I'm not available, thank you very much. No, I cannot accommodate, thank you very much. No, I cannot come in early, sorry about that. No, I cannot, you know, stay later. Just say no. I feel like that's something that people pleasers struggle with. The next thing is I don't give explanations anymore. I also don't care about your perception of me. Freedom. Freedom, 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 honey. I do not care what you feel about me. That is freedom. I am so quick to tell somebody no. I'm not interested in over accommodating you. Because if I over accommodate you, that means it's because I want you to like me. And if I want you to like me, that means I have to constantly be performing and saying yes and enabling your bad behaviors in order for you to like me. I'm not interested in doing that. So when you realize that you don't care about being liked or being nice, your life is just easier because you get to tell people they know where to kiss it, right? It's just so much easier to just move on because you realize that, you know, a lot of people don't like you. They like the benefits and the way they're able to use you. It's not you that they like, you know. It's the way that they can manipulate you and take advantage of you. That's what they like. Your availability to get taken advantage of. That is what they like, right? Next thing, self-preservation is key to survive this life. How are you preserving yourself if you are constantly in a state of being nice and people-pleasing? That will drain your soul when you are interested in being nice and accommodating to people. I told you guys, being nice enables bad behavior. Okay? There was a time I was at an event, I think, and this person that was at the event said something very racist to me. He was talking about, I don't know, they were just talking about models and stuff. I don't really know. Like, I don't know much about the modeling industry or model by their names or whatever. He was just talking about models and stuff, and I was just on the table just minding my business on my phone, and he was just joking around with women that were sitting in the same booth. And he was like, oh, he told one of the women, oh, wouldn't you want to be a tall, skinny white woman? And they started laughing. I guess it was some type of inside joke. And then he looked at me. He said, wouldn't you want to be a tall, skinny white woman? I was like, please don't go there. Down right away. That's the thing when you learn that if you don't stop things when they start, they're going to persist. When someone's disrespectful, if you don't stop them in their tracks, it's only going to get worse. So you have to clock things early and not let it grow or prolong over time. So that was just a brief story, whatever. The next thing is, yeah, self-preservation is key to survive this life. Self-preservation is you preserving who you are and you preserving yourself to ensure that you're in the best state possible. And sometimes that's saying no so people do not drain you of your energy, your essence, because they will definitely try to do that. I remember I had one person that was like, oh, like, I really want you to do this for me and help me with this project that I'm working on in this event. I said, okay, cool. Like, let me get some information about it and I will send you my prices. And this person's like, oh, well, is there a way that we can do so-and-so price? And this person took half off the price. I said, no, we cannot. And this was a family member. No, we can't. It's because by me taking half off, I'm working hard and getting paid half of the work. Like, I'm not going to do that. That doesn't benefit my life in any way, especially when I know you have it. You just don't want to pay me because you just want to take advantage of me because I'm family, right? So with me, I pay everybody what their prices are. Whether you're my family, whether you're my friend. If you're my friend and you have a hair company and I'm ordering hair from you, I'm going to pay the full price. If, you know, I'm not going to ask you for a discount. If you own a boutique, I'm going to walk into my friend's boutique and buy 5 dresses full price and support her. I'm not going to take advantage of you and tell you, oh, give me a discount or give me a... That's really rude, especially when you know that somebody is working hard towards growing their business. Asking them for discounts when you will go into Macy's and pay that designer's price. And that's also something that I feel like is very popular in the Black community amongst Black people. People always think that I want to discount something for them, or people always think that I'm willing to accommodate for them. That is something that is very, very popular amongst Black women, is people always thinking that we are willing to negotiate our price or our requests. This is what I want. This is how I want it. And that's the end of it. I'm not changing it. I'm not editing it. This is what I want. This is how I want it. Is people assume that because you're a Black woman that they can hustle you out of prices, or they think that you are interested in accommodating them in some way. So I always tell Black women, specifically all women, but Black women, we are not accommodating you, and we are not lowering our prices or anything. That's disrespectful, you know. So you have to really balance that, which is why I always say you have to have a slight level of sternness and strictness to your personality, especially as a Black woman, because people always are trying to see in what way they can either overstep or overimpose or slightly disrespect. They're always trying to see how much they can get away with when it comes to the Black woman. A major part of being kind and having boundaries is understanding that you have to preserve yourself, you have to preserve your time, you have to preserve your energy, and you are not interested in anything that doesn't fit that. That's what I've learned as a Black woman. And to the Black women that say, that's not true, you haven't been in the real world yet to see the way a Caucasian woman can request something and it gets done right away. But if a Black woman requests something, it got to go through 15 people for it to get done, because people just don't take it seriously. So you have to have a level of sternness to be taken seriously, right? I remember when I was managing a surgical home, this was years ago, and I had to be extremely stern towards the staff, because I knew that if I was nice and buddy-buddy with everybody, the way that either a Caucasian or a Latin boss could be, they weren't going to respect me. They weren't going to take me seriously. So you have to also learn the demographics. Next thing is having boundaries and not being nice is you should be more interested in being respected than being liked. In the psyche of women value being liked and fitting into a group, right? Which is why most women won't stand out. Most women won't call out nonsense. Most women won't, you know, stand on what they feel and stand on what they say, because they want to belong to something. That's how women are. That's why it's usually a group of women going after the girl who's that girl. People who are top millionaires, billionaires, and people who are top successful they usually didn't fit into groups. That's why they're at where they're at, because they outworked, outshined, and out-hustled everybody else. When you have this constant need to belong to a group, the higher you go up, the smaller the group continues to shrink. That's why the president is one person and Congress is a whole group. The higher you go up, it becomes more singular. So, for example, when I was growing up, I didn't want to be a part of nobody's group, because I always knew that my assignment was going to require me to stand alone, and I was enough. So I didn't need to be part of a group. Every time I was part of a group, I felt like I had to suppress my intelligence and I had to suppress my energy in order to belong or fit in. And if I was really myself, I would intimidate people, which is why I don't run in groups, right? But women are more concerned with being accepted and belonging, which is why they tend to people please, because they're afraid to stand alone. The next thing is, being nice is a constant life of auditioning. You're not God or a producing company. I'm not interested in auditioning for you. So when you're nice, like, it's like you're constantly trying to get people to like you. It's so draining. You're constantly looking for people to approve of you when you are nice, as opposed to just being yourself. And the right people will gravitate towards you when you are yourself. So yeah, it's like I never, like, you know, once I escaped the whole people pleasing aspect of myself, there's no benefit to being nice. There's no benefit. And you may say, oh, well, the benefit is people like you. Well, the same people that like you, something can happen and they don't like you. Like, people's emotions are always changing. People are fickle and unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do next. You don't know what they're going to think next. People are like the weather. They're always changing. So if you're living your life according to being liked by people, by being nice, life is going to be very difficult for you, because people are always changing and they can just stop liking you because you got a new car. I mean, imagine living your life in a way of constant need and reason for acceptance. It's simply not worth it. Anyways, I hope you guys learned from this video of I'm not nice, I have boundaries. Your life will be better when you're kind and you have boundaries. It may be hard, you may lose some friends, you may lose some family, but it is needed. Do not forget to visit my website. Remember, you guys, I have my podcast on Spotify every other Friday, new episodes, and all of my social media handles are below in the description. And I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video.